Innovid, we've been for 7.5 years working on innovating on creating a platform to help and aid marketing organization agencies, brand marketers on when they move into digital video, get a better value of every impression that they deliver. So handle all their video assets, handling their media plan, the trafficking, the campaign management, and gather all the data that they're getting out of it from the delivery, from the engagement, and from third parties. And the next level, as more people, clearly it's, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, but it's clear that, that television is moving to a more of a digital world, and it is becoming kind of prime time. It's no longer a small online video space. So we're doubling down on the place of the creative in that arena. So there was a lot of work on programmatic in the last year. And what we're spending a lot of time is leveraging the data and making the video smarter, but on the creative side, so applying programmatic aspects to the actual creative.
So what led you guys to wanting to do that specifically? Was it a request from advertisers? Was it the market needed it? I mean, what kind of led you to get to where you guys are now?
I'd say we've been passionate a lot for a long time on the notion that the web has way more to offer, or digital environments has way more to offer than an actual television from many levels, definitely from data collection, from ability to do targeting, but also from interactivity, and from the perception or what the user expect from that medium. They have a lot of ways to tune out and move to a different content. So we've been spending a lot of time thinking, how can you bring the right creative to the right person and allow them to interact if needed, get a dynamic message that is way more tailored to the person, and other things. So I think, to answer your question, I think it was a mix between our passion and our work for a long time, and finally brands and marketers have the time to think about it.
So what's been the biggest hurdle for the marketers and advertisers to get to a place where they are now that you can start to have these conversations?
I would say maybe two things. Once, I would say, in order to really apply sophistication on the creative side, at the end of the day, you need variations of creative. You need kind of multi-permutations of a given spot. So if predominantly online video or digital video was taking a spot that was produced for television where you cannot do a lot of those stuff and then deliver it online, so you didn't really have a lot of material to play with, if you will. We're seeing more and more brands clearly understanding that they're big content producers. They have multiple channels, not only paid, but also earned media and their own media. So on one side, we're seeing an influx of more content that is being produced and more capability that people actually understand what does it mean to create multiple variations of your spot to deliver different messages. So this is one thing. The other one is that just the use of data on the brand side. So for quite some time, there was a lot of companies collecting third-party data, and maybe brands have been collecting data but not really have the infrastructure to use it and utilize it on their paid media campaign. And what we've seen paired with the more content that is available is brands allowing us to access the data and make decisions in real time based on it.
So do you find that it's the brands that are having conversations and driving for that content mix, or is it the agencies that are kind of getting them to get more involved?
I would say it's definitely driven, so our clients are the agencies. So we're selling our technology to the agency. We're working with the agency on building data warehouses and infrastructures and plugging into other third parties that they're working with. So I see the agency as maybe as an orchestrator to manage all the different components together. Some of the data that I mentioned before is a brand specific. So a brand on its own has a DMP that collects a lot of other initiatives and data that they collect, not just for marketing standpoint. So hence, I guess this is a mix. And also on the content production, so the agency that we work with is predominantly media buying agencies. And a lot of the assets that I mentioned and the videos coming from a creative agency.
So are there any brands that you think right now would be best suited to start to leverage your technology?
First of all, right now I would say almost every brand. I think 85% of the Fortune 500 brands are utilizing it already. So every car manufacturer in the United States, every entertainment studio in the United States, almost all big retailers, pharmaceutical company. I think it's a really great time. Again, we've been 7.5 years preaching that television is coming online. Television will become smarter. Television will become interactive, and people would like to interact with it. And I think right now, almost every vertical and every advertiser, understand that and also believe that they can do more and not just what television offered in the earlier days.
So what company other than your own do you think is most interesting in 2015?
So I have a weird answer and a more relevant answer. I'll start with a weird answer. I would say drones are an area that I'm extremely fascinated with. I think just coming out of CES, and I've been spending a lot of time on the drone side, I'm very fascinated about drones moving from being a toy that you actually need to control in flight to an actual service that you say, I want to get something from here to somewhere else, and you just need to figure it out. So I think the technology that is put into the drones, artificial intelligence and other stuff is extremely fascinating, and the pace that it's moving is tremendously exciting. That's on the weirder side. On the more relevant side, I'm very fascinated with actually the place of the operator, the MVPDs, in the next generation, where the pipes are the less important stuff, and people has a lot of options of getting content. I think, and clearly everyone is saying this similar things, but I think it's very interesting to see what the Comcast, Time Warner, Dish, and others will be doing to bring other values, smart home, other stuff to a consumer, not just on the television side, but just acting as a hub. That used to be just a portal to access content, but maybe be other things. So I'm fairly fascinated with the work that they're doing.